How about that? You said you were going to do good enough, so I'm going to beat you.
If you want me to get start.
Yeah. I tell you what. He got bells.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2 1 2 testing 2. Hello and good afternoon everybody, welcome to another edition of Coventry United Match Day with your host Liam Cook. Today we are bringing you live coverage of another Midland League Premier Division match. Here at Sphinx Drive it is Coventry United versus Walsall Wood. It is the non-league version of the M6L Classico. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic match here at a rather drizzly Sphinx Drive. The heavens have certainly opened in Coventry. There was actually a little bit of worry whether the game was going to be going ahead today, but there has been a pitch inspection by the referee and the assistants. The pitch is good to go, so we are going to be okay for today's match. We're going to be going through the starting lineups once we have gone through all of the the dignitary stuff. First of all, we've got to say a massive shout out to all the Walsall Wood supporters listening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome one and all. And there's a few Coventry United supporters who haven't been able to make the trip to Sphinx Drive today, so a massive shout out to all of you guys if you are tuned in. Today is actually Human Rights Day, and as part of that, Coventry United have invited some guests from the Coventry Refugee Centre who are currently working tirelessly to help refugees from Syria. So a massive welcome to everyone from the Coventry Refugee Centre as well. And last but certainly not least, a big welcome to our sponsor, Graham the Plumbers Merchant, operating across the Midlands, supplying all of your bathroom heating and plumbing needs. Check out grahamplumbersmerchant.co.uk for store locations and the latest special offers. Right, I hope you are ready for some team news, because here we go. It's rapid fire time, lads. Let's start off with the Red and Greens of Coventry United. In goal, number 1, Rich Morris. 2, Pierre Mudim. 3, Ben Valance. 4, Chris Cox. 5, Rob Prinzel. 6, Jamie Coleman. 7, Courtney Cameron. 8, Jean de Corey. 9, Ben Mackey. 10, Josh O'Grady. And 11 is Tommy Glasgow. And on the bench, number 12, Jimmy Hulton. 13, Joe Connor. 14, Simeon Townsend. 15, Kai Williams. And 16, Muzzy Unduna. Now, before we get into the Walsall Wood team news, we've got a little bit of news from our visitors today. Today's match is actually the first for Harry Harris in full-time charge of Walsall Wood. He was announced yesterday as Walsall's full-time player manager after Mark Swan decided to end his 5-year stay with the club late last month. Harris, who was club captain at Wood until yesterday, made 17 league appearances in midfield this season so far, but stood in as temporary replacement for Swan for the games against Loughborough and Wolves students. The armband will now go to Joey Butlin, and Harris will actually be joined by fellow player Leon Taylor in his backroom staff, and also coach Scott Rickards will be in there as well. So a lot going on at Walsall Wood. The best of luck to Harry Harris after today, I must say. We don't want to wash him up today, because United could do with the points. So here we go. Now we're going to get straight into the team news for Walsall Wood. We have number 1, Sam Arnold. 2, Josh Mansell. 3, Craig Deacon. 4, Ben Steen. 5, Joe Ling. 6, Lewis Harris. Number 7, Nick Wright. 8, Harry Harris. 9, Joey Butlin. 10, Drew Ayton. And 11, Ramiro Hutton. And on the bench, number 12, Carl Edwards. 14, Quinton Mananse. 15, Scott Rickards. 16, Ash Jackson. And 17, Leon Taylor. So not only is the manager, Harry Harris, in the starting lineup, both of his coaches, Scott Rickards and Leon Taylor, are both on the bench as well. And I tell you what, it must feel weird for the new captain, Joey Butlin, because A, it's his first match as captain, so it's going to be a little bit nervous for him, and B, this is probably the weirdest bit of all, despite him being the captain, he's not the most senior player on the pitch, because his new manager is starting in midfield. So it must be a very strange feeling for number 9, Joey Butlin. Of course, best of luck to Walsall after this game, of course, because again, United could do with the points after what is currently their worst run in the club's history. 5 matches without a win. And I've got to say, it's a different level, the Premier Division. We've been saying to some of the fans today, we've been spoilt over the past few years of United dominating opposition. We've seen massive scorelines. We saw, what was it, 27-0 a couple of seasons ago. We saw 10-0 against Cotswold last season. We have been spoilt with brilliant performances and goal fests. This season, it's a lot different. I mean, until this campaign, the longest United went without a victory was 2 matches. But this season, they've gone without a win for 4 matches twice, and now they're up to 5 this time around, the worst run the club has seen so far. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the Red and Greens can turn things around and try and get their promotion push back on track. There is one thing that counts towards the Red and Greens, however. They have conceded the fewest goals of any team outside the top 3, with United's net bulging just 23 times in the league this season, but they are the lowest scorers in the top 10 with 30 from 20 matches. Now, who are the ones to watch out for with Walsall? Well, Drew Aiken, Craig Deacon and Carl Edwards are currently tied on 18 appearances this season out of 20. Walsall actually haven't been on the best of form either. I mean, we've been saying that United haven't won in 5 games. Walsall have actually only got 4 wins in their last 13 matches in League and Cup. That's not counting the match on Tuesday night, I think it was, when Walsall's match was halted with 20 minutes to go, with the score at 1-1 due to a serious injury to Ricardo Ricketts. Now, in terms of goals, Drew Aiken is the man to watch out for. He has scored 11 times this season in the league. And also another danger man who I don't believe is in the team today, Benjamin Birch, who has actually been awarded the Man of the Match award by opposing teams, the most of any player in the Walsall Wood team, but he is not in the match day squad. So that's one danger man that we haven't got to contend with. Right, what's happening elsewhere? Well, firstly, let's tell you about what's happening with our local teams. Wasps are in action tomorrow, so we're not going to be mentioning them today, but we have 2 local sides in action. Coventry City are away at Southend. I've seen the team sheet. It's not a very promising one, so I wouldn't expect a good result from Roots Hall for the Sky Blues, unfortunately. They've gone for Danik Yai and Andre Wright up front, who I believe have only got a combined 2 goals between them this season. So, yeah, I think we can kind of predict the result from that game. And Coventry Rugby Club are away at Darlington Moden Park in the National League 1. So those are the local fixtures for today. And also, I've got to say, from the supporters club here at Coventry United, we're running a coach for the match against Westfields on the 30th of December. That's a Friday night. I believe the coach is leaving around 3 o'clock. There are still places on that coach. So if you do want to go to the match away at Westfields on Friday the 30th of December, then get in touch with a member of the supporters club. Get in touch with one of the club officials. There are details on the website and the Twitter as well. But after this, we've only got one more game before Christmas. I know, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, we're only on the 10th of December today. There's only one match to go for Coventry United until Christmas. That's next Saturday, and it's away at Quorn. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff at Farley Way, and then it's the big one. After the big day comes Boxing Day, and it's a huge match, probably the biggest match in Coventry United's history, right up there with the match against Bedworth, the biggest local derby we have had for many, many years. Coventry United away, bizarrely, here at Sphinx Drive against Coventry Sphinx. It's going to be absolutely huge. We're expecting a record crowd here at Sphinx Drive, so do not miss it. If you can get here for the match, please do. I'd probably say get here early as well, because there is going to be a lot of demand for tickets. If you can't make the game, we've heard of a few United fans who won't be able to make the match. We will be here live from Sphinx Drive at the earlier time of 2:30 on Boxing Day. So a rather strange feeling having football on a Monday. Not something that we're too used to here at Coventry United, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Let's have a look at some of the fixtures for the Premier League today. Well, the first big one is a final score: Watford 3, Everton 2. 2 goals from Akaka and 1 from Sebastian Proddle for Watford, cancelling out 2 goals from Romelu Lukaku for Everton. So the final score at Vicarage Road: Watford 3, Everton 2. Let's have a look at some of the games that we have got coming up. Arsenal are at home to Stoke City. Burnley take on Bournemouth. Hull City are at home to Crystal Palace. Swansea have got Sunderland, and Leicester have got Manchester City at 5:30. And I've got to say, as many of you may know, my dear old Ma is a Leicester fan. She's absolutely bricking it with this game coming up. So come on, Manchester City, I'll support you just this once, okay? There's a few FA Trophy matches happening as well. We probably won't go through many of them, but Nuneaton Town are away at Stocksbridge. So we'll try and keep an eye on that one. There's a few decent matches in the Championship, full set of fixtures in the Championship today. It's trying to pick some of the big ones. Aston Villa versus Wigan Athletic, 2 recent FA Cup finalists, of course. There's Barnsley versus Norwich. Newcastle at home to Birmingham City. Reading against Sheffield United. And there is one late kick-off in there, Preston versus Blackburn. And there's one latest score, and boy oh boy is it a big one. It's the Dons versus the Dons. Milton Keynes Dons versus AFC Wimbledon. It's currently 1-0 to Milton Keynes thanks to Dean Bowditch's 63rd minute penalty. And I think it's just about to end now. The match is just about to end. So disappointing there for the true Dons of AFC Wimbledon away at the club that used to be called Wimbledon in Milton Keynes Dons. So 1-0 currently to MK Dons. And of course we'll keep you up to date with the latest score from Roots Hall as Coventry City are taking on Southend. Well, we can see the Coventry United coaching staff making their way over to the dugout as we prepare for kickoff. We are inside the stand at Sphinx Drive, the Willie Nibbs Memorial Stand, because of the adverse weather conditions. It's been raining throughout the majority of the day. Seems to have eased off now, but you know what? I ain't taking the risk. So we're going to be inside the stand. So if you are going to be watching the highlights video, it's going to be a brand new view. So that will be just something a little bit different for all of you out there. And of course, if you are looking for something to do at half time when we take our usual break after the end of the first half, go and check out the latest episode of the Sky Blue Diaries. We are now on to episode 5, where we have gone through the gameplay of the month of February in that career mode. So go and have a look at it if you get the chance at half time. Well, it's now time to focus on some hot non-league football here in the cold month of December. It's time for these lads to light it up as Coventry United and Walsall Wood make their way onto the pitch. Live coverage of this match exclusive on YouTube here on Coventry United Match Day with Liam Cook. Right, let's go through the starting lineups once again. After we say a massive shout out to our sponsors, Graham the Plumbers Merchant, operating across the Midlands, supplying all of your bathroom heating and plumbing needs. Check out grahamplumbersmerchant.co.uk for store locations and the latest special offers. And we are actually going to be having an interview with Josh O'Grady after today's match. It's all been organised, so we will be speaking to Josh O'Grady after today's match. So that will be online this evening, so keep an eye on the YouTube channel after today's game. It will be online shortly after the match. Let's hope that the interview will be in happy circumstances after a win for Coventry United. Right, straight into the team news now. For Coventry United, number 1, Rich Morris. 2, Pierre Mudim. 3, Ben Valance. 4, Chris Cox. 5, Rob Prinzel. 6, Jamie Coleman. 7, Courtney Cameron. 8, Jean Decory. 9, Ben Mackey. 10, Josh O'Grady. And 11, Tommy Glasgow. On the bench, 12, Jimmy Hulton. 13, Joe Connor. 14, Simeon Townsend. 15, Kyle Williams. And 16, Muzzy Unduna. For Walsall Wood, number 1, Sam Arnold. 2, Josh Mansell. 3, Craig Deacon. 4, Ben Steen. 5, Joe Ling. 6, Lewis Harris. 7, Nick Wright. 8, the player manager Harry Harris. 9, the captain Joey Butlin. 10, Drew Ayton. And 11, Ramiro Hutton. And on the bench for Wood, number 12, Carl Edwards. 14, Quinton Mananson, I don't know how to pronounce that one, just hope he doesn't come on. 15, Scott Rickards. 16, Ash Jackson. And 17, Leon Taylor. Well, it has to be said, despite the the weather conditions. We've got a decent turnout here at Sphinx Drive from both Coventry United and Walsall. United in their traditional red and green home strips, the civic colours of Coventry, and Walsall in blue and white. And of course we will keep you up to date with what's going on over at Darlington as Coventry Rugby Club are taking on Darlington Modern Park in the National League. And of course Coventry City away at Southend, so the latest scores from Roots Hall as and when we get them. It's going to be Walsall to kick us off in the first half. Can United bring this record-setting run of matches without wins to an end here at Sphinx Drive as the floodlights are switched on? Let's see if the Red and Greens can light up the pitch in the Midland League Premier Division. It's the non-league M6 El Clasico. Referee checks that the keepers are both ready. Rich Rice is just fastening his gloves. The ref checks his watch. And here we go. Match is underway at Sphinx Drive with Walsall kicking from right to left. Long ball forward. He has to pick up possession at left back with Ben Valance. Cox puts it forward looking for Josh O'Grady, easily intercepted there by Ben Steen. Mansell. Now here's the player manager Harry Harris. Hoofed away by Jamie Coleman. Surprising that he's actually going to be in the team tonight. He was actually sat in hospital all night last night, so thankfully everything is okay and he is in the starting lineup today. Decory. Chris Cox. It appears United are sticking with the 5 men at the back that they utilised on Tuesday night in a fantastic match against Westfield. It's a real well, proper advert for non-league really. The only disappointment was that United couldn't get the win. A win that they thoroughly deserved. Moodim puts it across on the right hand side. Who's there? It's going to go all the way through. Valance swipes at it. Can't get a clean contact to put it in the area. Clearance is made. Courtney Cameron brings it down but loses the ball to Drew Ayton. Ayton, lovely bit of skill to take it around. Jean Decory striding forward is the top scorer. Puts it on the right hand side now. A good challenge there by Chris Cox on the new captain, Joey Butlin. And it's put out for a Walsall throw. And we've got a bunch of walking Christmas trees coming into the Willingness Memorial stand. Some of the United fans getting into the festive spirit. Cameron gives the ball away to Ramiro Hutton. And the cross is blocked. It will be a corner kick to Walsall Wood. The corner to be taken on the right hand side by Walsall Wood's new permanent player manager, Harry Harris. He puts it in, takes towards goal, and it bounces into the hands of Rich Morris. Decent contact on the ball by Joey Butlin, the new captain at Walsall. He headed it into the ground rather than towards the net. Josh O'Grady. Forced back by the fullback, Josh Mansell. Ben Valance, United's new first choice left back now that Lewis Hutton has joined Rugby Town on a two-way agreement. So throwing down the left-hand side for Coventry United. Valance to take. He's got O'Grady with him. He's found Josh O'Grady, United's second top scorer with 5 goals after the match against Westfields. Cameron takes the ball beautifully away from Drew Ayton. Rob Prinzel. Moodim's got space on the right-hand side. Fans are calling for it, and he's found Pierre Moodim. Takes it around the left-back beautifully. Cross is put in. Not the best of crosses. Harris makes the clearance. Flicked on by Wright. And the return ball by Drew Ayton, not what Wright was looking for. And it's stripped it out for a Coventry United throw right on the halfway line. Prinzel takes. Nodded on by Josh O'Grady. Mackie wasn't ready for it. Played back to the goalkeeper by Deakin. The ball now falls to Chris Cox after Decory nods it towards the defence, battling for the ball with Aiken. Jamie Coleman. Prinzel. Must have an extended run in the team due to the injury to Callum Burgess. Burgess is back in the under-21 side and may well be back within the next couple of weeks. Moodham leaves the ball for Josh O'Grady. Glasgow to Courtney Cameron on loan from Hales Owen. Mackie back to Cameron, and the touch by Cameron off the knee takes the ball away from him. Nick Wright. It's forced back towards his own goal by Courtney Cameron, and there was contact from the former Aston Villa man on Wright, and it will be a free kick on the left-hand side, fully into their own half for Walsall Wood, and trudging over is going to be Lewis Harris. I'm not sure whether there's any relation to Harry Harris. And the goalkeeper Sam Arnold to take this free kick. There goes the ball down the left-hand side. Prinzel jumps for it, heads it away, and Cox will finish the job with a thrashing clearance. Ling, the defender, only finds Courtney Cameron. Onto the left-hand side now with Ben Valance. Decory. A poor pass, but it has bobbled its way towards Josh O'Grady. O'Grady's ball towards Courtney Cameron was not what was desired. It drifts out for a throw-in on the far side for Walsall Wood. Around 5 minutes gone, remains 0-0 at Sphinx Drive. This is Coventry's last home game before Christmas. It's away at Quorn on Saturday. Oh, and a clearance by Prinzel, charged down well. I believe that was Butlin who got there. Played downline to Craig Deakin as Walsall look to build again. Josh Mansell. Cuts in. Harry Harris. Deakin on his own here. Tries to play it back to Harris. Pass is blocked by Glasgow, but still found its way back to Deakin. Strides down the left-hand side. Prinzel tries to make inroads, and he does. He gets to the ball as Moodin was trying to shove him out of play. Prinzel just comes across and blasts the ball out for a throw. Ruthless defending by Rob Prinzel. And it will be a throw-in on the left-hand side, level with the penalty area. 1-2 with the number 10. It's headed away by Coleman. Decory goes for the header. It's forward to Tommy Glasgow, despite Steen getting there first. Prinzel. It's up line. It's going to be kept in by Harris, the centre-back, over to his namesake, Harry Harris. I'm starting to think they are brothers because they do look a lot alike. Josh Mansell strides down the right. Plenty of space. He plays it back to his new player manager, Harry Harris. Ball up forward. Good chest control by Chris Cox, and he fires it down the left-hand side. Will it be kept in? No, it will not. It's going to be a throw-in around the halfway line for Walsall. Harris plays it back to Josh Mansell. It's 1-2 with Butlin, but it's forward to Jean Decory. Now Rob Prinzel. Ball down the right-hand side, and it's put out of play well by Craig Deakin as Moodham tried to make a run down the right-hand side. Throwing taken to Rob Prinzel at centre-back. Lofted over to Glasgow. Nice bit of passing there by Prinzel. Glasgow's got nowhere to go. Plays it back to Prinzel in defence. Stab back over to Glasgow. Much more space now. Into the centre with Josh O'Grady. He's got space to run into. He can get past the last defender. Puts it into the area. It's Ben Mackie! And not a bad effort by Mackie, but he sort of stabbed at it over the crossbar. Goal kick. A new ball was requested by the referee. It remains 0-0 between Coventry and Walsall. Let's get a score update from Roots Hall, where Coventry City are currently playing, and there's been a goal. There has been a goal, and it's Southend leading. Southend 1, Coventry 0, and it's Anthony Wordsworth. I'm a City fan and a Sea of United fans. It's not good for me, is it? It's not good for me at all. But yeah, if you missed it, it is Anthony Wordsworth who scored. And bizarrely, if anyone's been watching the Sky Blue Diaries, when we played Southend as Coventry City, it was actually Wordsworth who scored for Southend in that match. Coleman plays it forward. Lewis Harris heads it away towards Nick Wright. It's intercepted well by Jean de Corey. Rob Prinzel down to the right hand side now with Pierre Mudim. Lovely bit of skill to take it away from Deacon, but he can't take it away from Harris, who puts it off Mudim's leg on the way out. Crowd showing their appreciation to Pierre Mudim, who's been one of the standout performers this season. Much bigger attacking threat than he was last time around. Deacon. Upfield towards Butlin. Free kick against, I believe it was against Ayton. Prinzel plays it back to Jamie Coleman at centre back as we restart the game. Still 0-0. Just under 10 minutes gone. Chris Cox plays a 1-2 with Courtney Cameron. United look like they're using the 5-3-2 formation from Tuesday, with Valence and Mudim playing as wing-backs. It's gone out of play for a United throw on the left-hand side, taken quickly by Valence, a little bit too quickly, but he's found the ball once again after Mansell's clearance. It's gone out of play once again for another United throw. Cox takes it quickly. Jamie Coleman looks for an option in defence. He lays it off to Rob Prinzel. You have to need to start making some progress up the field now. Ball up line. O'Grady surrounded by blue shirts. A lovely lob pass onto the right hand side for Pierre Mudim. He's got Mackie in the centre, puts it in. Headed up rather than out by Harris. And the job is completed by Ling. And Mudim lets it go for a Coventry United throw, level with the box on the right hand side. Waits for options. Courtney Cameron and Josh O'Grady both there. He's found O'Grady. Can he get round the defender? Tries to trick his way through. Still going O'Grady. Still going. Still got the ball. Still trying to find a way through. O'Grady continues to hold off the Walsall defenders. Cross put in. And head away by Lewis Harris. And it will be a throw in exactly the same position. United go again. Another ball requested by the referee. O'Grady just had nowhere to go there. Sea of blue standing in front of him. 4 or 5 defenders blocking his path. They knew what he was going to do. But United get another bite of the cherry. It's O'Grady again. Tries to put it through the gap in the defence. Offside against Pierre Mudim. And it's put across the... I don't think the referees... don't know anything about it there. The flag was raised. The referee didn't know anything about it though. But the cross was put across the face of goal. No one can get a clean contact on it though. And Walsall have got to get us away now. Harris makes the clearance. Here's Butlin, the new captain. Harris again lobs it forward, looking for Nick Wright. Volley clear by Jamie Coleman. They will fall for Harry Harris. Ball down the right-hand side, looking for Hutton. Can Hutton get the cross in? And good tackle there by Chris Cox, who's been playing defence majority of the season due to injuries to Coleman and Burgess. But despite Coleman coming back, United utilising a 5-3-2. And Cox seemingly stuck in defence until Burgess makes his comeback with the first team. Of course, he has been with the under-21s. But Cox has been fantastic in defence this season. Handful of Man of the Match awards from match day as well. And the addition of Courtney Cameron in the midfield may well allow United to keep Cox in defence. It's going to be a throw-in on the right-hand side now for Walsall Wood to be taken by Lewis Harris. Crossing point from the right-hand side should be an easy catch. Well, Morris leaves it. And Prinzel tries to clear it. It looks like the striker will get there first, where he slips as he tries to bring the ball under pressure. Joe Butlin slipped and Mudim will keep it in. Plays a neat little 1-2 with Josh O'Grady. Beautiful football here. Mudim will be beaten to the ball by Deacon and hoofed away by Sam Arnold. Kept in by Wright. Flicks it on. No one there except for Jean de Corey for Coventry United. Glasgow can't control. Ramiro Hutton holds off his opposite number 11 in Tommy Glasgow. Mansell tries to return the ball, and Decory with a decent interception in the centre. O'Grady, low ball to Ben Mackey, lays it off for O'Grady once again. Moodham with the run down the right-hand side. Mackey's there in the centre. As Moodham tries to play the first line cross, it's well blocked by the right leg of Craig Deacon. Corner to Coventry United. Let's see what the red and greens can do now. Taken quickly, Courtney Cameron, and the referee has called a halt to proceedings. So there was 2 balls on the field. We're going to reset with another corner. Short corner again to Courtney Cameron. And a rather wayward solo effort from Courtney Cameron with a left boot. Skewed horribly, and that will go out for a goal kick. Let's have a look now at the latest score from Roots Hall. It remains Southend 1, Coventry City 0 after Anthony Wordsworth's goal in the 6th minute. Let's get a latest score also from Coventry Rugby Club. I don't believe there's been any score updates from the club actually. There's nothing on Twitter, so we'll try and get something from the Darlington Twitter page a little bit later on if we can. As United regained the ball on the left-hand side, while they nearly did. Courtney Cameron's slide couldn't quite get to the ball fast enough to keep the ball in on the right-hand side. It's put into the area. Butlin beaten to the ball by Jamie Coleman. Free kick against Butlin on Coleman. United take it quickly. It's played back to the goalkeeper, Rich Morris. Morris fires forward. Tries to find O'Grady. Head forward. And Harris will try one here. That's a little bit too far out. Easily blocked by Rob Prinzel. Now Pierre Moodham looks for the right option. Glasgow back to Prinzel in defence. You just need to find a little gap in the midfield to break through. It's played back to the goalkeeper, Rich Morris, by Prinzel. Onto the left-hand side with Chris Cox. Swings one forward, looking for Mackey, and headed forward by Lewis Harris. But Cox regains the ball to that long ball from the defender. Cameron, first time pass to Ben Valance. Valance long ball, utilised those so beautifully on Tuesday night. And he finds Deacon, but the header only drafts to Pierre Moodham. O'Grady, can he get the crossing? He's got Moodham in support. Tries to drag it around Nick Wright. Good pressure from the number 7. He's laid it off to Pierre Moodham in the penalty area. Moodham's cross on the far post. It's Valance, couldn't get a contact on it. And a free kick against Ben Valance for a foul on Mansell at the far post. But once again, as we saw on Tuesday night against Westfields, another fantastic long-range pass by Ben Valance. The score remains 0-0 at Sphinx Drive between Coventry United and Walsall Wood, the non-league M6L Classico. And a free kick given against Butlin immediately after the free kick was taken by Walsall. Prinzel strides forward. Long ball headed up rather than back into midfield by Ben Mackey, and it's going to be played back to Sam Arnold in goal. Neither keeper forced into a save yet. We're over 15 minutes into the game. It remains scoreless. The corner for each side, the best that they could have hoped for so far. Decory only finds Nick Wright into the centre now of Harry Harris. Here's Mansell. Should keep it in. Does keep it in. Mansell's cross. Volley cleared by Coleman. Mansell will allow that one to drift out for a Walsall throw. Mansell looks for an option, plays it to centre-back Lewis Harris. Harris striding forward. Here's Harry Harris. Long ball headed out by Valance for another Walsall throw in a more advanced position on their right-hand side. Mansell looks for the option. taking his time about it. Finds Hutton. Finds as well to hold him off and put it out for a goal kick off the body of Ramiro Hutton. And Morris is going to be taking this goal kick. Don't forget, as usual, we'll be taking a short break at half-time to swap over the laptop batteries to ensure we can bring you the second half of this match in full. Moodim tries to find Mackie, intercepted by Steen, and the pass well blocked by Pierre Moodim goes out for a throw-in. And at half-time, if you have got nothing to do, why not check out the latest episode of our exclusive web series, the Sky Blue Diaries. You can go and check that out on the Coventry United Matchday YouTube channel. And for anything that you'd like to say on today's show, you can hit us up on Twitter at CovMatchday. Deacon to take the throw, a bit more advanced position than it was originally supposed to be taken. Arnold plays it across to Josh Mansell, striding forward unopposed, tries a ball, ambitious ball into the centre. Harris just stabs it over to Nick Wright. Decory does well to force him back. Mansell to Harry Harris. Ayton to Mansell, and the ball into the box, easily gathered by Rich Morris. Here's Harris's first match in full-time charge of Walsall. After 2 matches in caretaker charge. He was the club captain until yesterday. That honour has now been bestowed to Jerry Butlin at number 9. And offside given against Butlin as Chris Cox lost the ball to Ramiro Hutton. It would have been a dangerous position for Coventry United, but luckily for the Red and Greens, the referee's flag has saved them. And Cox seems to be struggling a little bit. Of course, United do have some decent options on the bench. Jimmy Holton, of course, recently signed from Coventry Sphinx. Kyle Williams on the bench as well, after starting on Tuesday. Glasgow coming into the area, halted just in time. Vance's cross. Deacon slips, he tries to control the ball, clears it just in time before Ben Mack can get on the end of it. It's gone out for a throw into Coventry United, halfway into Walsall territory. Williams will provide a lot of speed, a lot of agility in the team if he does come on. Mackey lays it on a plate for Tommy Glasgow, off the line, but just Josh O'Grady, how didn't he score? Goalkeeper saves it, it's put out of play for a corner kick. 2 bites to the chair for Coventry United, but they couldn't grab the goal. Glasgow's over, well saved on the line by Craig Deacon, and then the follow-up attempt by Josh O'Grady. That sort of situation you wouldn't expect him to score, but Arnold just able to get his body in front of the ball, and the clearance was made. It's gone out for a Coventry United corner. Let's see how the Red and Greens cope with this one. It's O'Grady on the right-hand side. It's whipped in, and it was Cox going for it. It was too low to get his head on it. It goes across the face of goal. Maybe a little bit of contact from behind from the defender. There will be a goal kick for Sam Arnold. Over 20 minutes gone, still scoreless. I wish we could say the same thing about the match at Roots Hall. Coventry City is still losing by 1-0. Butlin. Hutton loses out to Ben Valance. That's gone out off Hutton for a Coventry United throw on the far side. Valance to take the throw. Looking for Mackey. It's found on number 9. Tries a lofted ball over the defence, and O'Grady is not on his toes enough. Vance has played it forward after the clearance from Harris. Ling. It's played back forward by United. It's easy dealt with by Deacon. Arnold's ball forward. Nodded on. It's gone over the United defence. And handball. It's put into the side netting anyway. The strike from Button took a deflection off Chris Cox, but handball was given against the new captain. Let's get a score update now from the match between Darlington Modon Park and Coventry Rugby Club. It's currently 3-3 between Darlington and Coventry RFC after around 20 minutes. Another high scoring of matches in National League One. Moodim strides down the right hand side away from Deacon. Cross put in. It may have fallen to Cameron, but he holds his run a little bit too early, and the clearance will be made by Joe Ling. The ball is chested well by Ben Valance. Can he get the cross in from the left-hand side? Glasgow. Courtney Cameron. Back into the area now with Ben Mackey with his back to goal. Lays it off of Valance. Cross put in. Garadisi at the near post by Arnold. Clearance made quickly. Ramiro Hutton takes it around Decory, and Decory makes contact with the winger. And it will be a free kick around the halfway line on the far side for Walsall. Well, United's two efforts in the space of a couple of seconds were the first and so far only strikes on goal that we've seen in what has been unfortunately not the best of matches. We were treated to a cracking match on Tuesday night against Westfields. But this hasn't quite lived up to expectations at the moment, but still plenty of time to go. Morris lays it off to Rob Prinzel in defence. Clearance made as Butlin was making a nuisance of himself. Ling, his header only finds Glasgow, plays it back into defence as United regroup from the back. Jamie Coleman's going to be careful as Butlin's waiting, trying to dispossess the United man. Glasgow, United eventually getting it away from the captain, and here's Rob Prinzel. Lofted ball, chested on by O'Grady, a little bit too high for Mooden though. It's not for the want of trying. United are putting everything into this game, but so far they're being repelled by Walsall. Throw taken by Deacon. Arnold. Here's Josh Mansell. Mansell plays it into the centre now. Ben Steen. Aiton. Will he try one from here? He will, you know, and it's not the worst in the world I've ever seen, but it's certainly not the best. The first strike on goal, first legal strike on goal for Walsall. But they're going to have to be a lot better than that if Wood are going to be scoring any goals this afternoon. So the score here at Sphinx Drive remains Coventry United 0, Walsall Wood 0. Live coverage of this match exclusive to Coventry United Match Day on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the like button below the video if you are enjoying the commentary. You can also subscribe to the channel. O'Grady shafted away from the box, but it's put into the penalty area, intercepted by the Walsall defender, and it will be played away now. Lovely bit of skill there by Nick Wright to dodge Jean Decory. Wright strides forward. Eventually, the challenge is made by Cox, but Decory again penalised for making contact with Nick Wright on the edge of the box. The fans aren't happy. The United coaching staff usually very vocal about decisions, but not so at the moment. I think it was a fair decision by the referee. And stepping up is the new captain, Joey Butlin. What's the number 9 got in his locker? A 4-man wall, I believe, from Coventry United. Valance, Glasgow, Cameron and Decory in there. There is a gap on the right-hand side. So will the skipper be aiming for that gap? The structural has got it blocked well by the wall, and the clearance will be made by Tommy Glasgow. Out for a throw into Walsall. Sound defensive strategy from the red and greens. Not the best of free kicks from Joey Butlin. Harry Harris. Valance slides in and wins the ball back. Played back into the fence now with Lewis Harris. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Bit of a flick up there by Sam Arnold as he brings the ball back to the ground. Hoofed away. Just under half an hour gone at Sphinx Drivers. Moodin lets that one go, and it hasn't taken a touch off Moodin. The Walsall Wood players claim that it took a touch off Moodin on the way through his legs, but linesman and referee in agreement that it didn't touch him. Steen heads it up rather than out. Cameron nods it over to Decory. Long ball forward. Ben Mackey's not the fastest, but he's gone to the ball. Crossing opportunity. O'Grady making himself available in the box. He's laid it up to Courtney Cameron. Nice skills, keeping it away from the midfielder. Lays it off for Josh O'Grady. Will he try on himself? Onto the left now with Ben Vance. Good hold up play from O'Grady to allow United space. And Glasgow takes a deflection onto the crossbar. The strike from Glasgow may well have been heading for the net, but the deflection from the Walsall Wood defender takes it onto the woodwork, and a free kick given against Tommy Glasgow. But United have come close on 3 occasions in the first half. And I've got to think if that deflection was not made, United could well have a 1-0 lead. Glasgow picks it up in the centre now for United. Valance plays the ball down the left wing. No one there except for Lewis Harris. The Walsall defender tries a long ball of his own towards Butlin. This one's a little bit better. It's set towards goal, and it's well saved by Rich Morris, and Morris will gather that one. As Ramiro Hutton, with an opportunity in front of goal, didn't make the most of it. Ayton with the ball into the penalty area. Hutton with a golden opportunity. Seemed rather hesitant. The shot didn't have a lot of power in it. And Morris with a decent save. Not the hardest he'll ever have to make, but they all have to be made. As you can see, Muzzy and Duna and Kai Williams preparing on the touchline for Coventry United. I wouldn't imagine there's going to be any substitutions this early in the match. Mansell loses out to Courtney Cameron, striding towards the box. It's Cameron, and it's well saved by Sam Arnold. It's the gut of the number 1. Cameron does like to make those sorts of runs. Look for any gap in the defence and sprint straight into it. Came close on a couple of occasions on Tuesday night against Westfields to scoring, but there's danger at the other end now. And Morris lets that one go agonisingly wide at the far post. I'm not sure, I wasn't sure for a minute whether that was going in or out. But Drew Ayton's strike took a deflection from a United man on the way through, taking it wide off the far post. It will be a corner. It's going to be taken, the corner, by Drew Ayton, the top scorer with 11 goals this season in the league for Walsall. Corner taken from the left-hand side. Who's in there? And Butlin goes to the ground. Referee asking for a penalty, not given. Strike towards goal, blocked well. Danger still not over yet as Butlin brings it back to Walsall in the left corner. Tries the back heel to Ayton. Intercepted by Cox, clearance made. Here's Harry Harris. Lifts one over to the left-hand side, a lovely clearance by Chris Cox. Mackey, he's being held by the Walsall defender, gets the ball away to O'Grady, and it's a little bit too powerful. I think Walsall were lucky there not to have a free kick given against them. There was certainly some holding there from Ben Mackey. United with some promising moves, some decent attacks at goal. Throw-in taken, nodded forward by Moodin. Interception made by Harris. Lewis Harris, challenged by Moodim, doesn't take the ball away, however. It's played into the defence now with Josh Mansell. Wright puts the ball in, headed away by Coleman. Wright seems to have switched to the right-hand side of the wing now with Ramiro Hutton switching to the left. Deacon down the left-hand side looking for the captain, and he won't find him. Prinzel. O'Grady couldn't control. Stab back into defence now with Craig Deacon. Ball down the left-hand side. That's eventually drifted out. A late call from the assistant on this near side. Throw-in taken by Prinzel straight back to Rich Morris in goal. We are heading towards half-time, just over 10 minutes until the break. And as usual, we'll be taking a short break at half-time, so do check out the latest edition of the Sky Blue Diaries if you do have a chance at half-time. And a free kick given now for a foul on Courtney Cameron. And the referee wants to have a word with the offending player. And the ball was kicked away. And he's having a word with Butlin, the captain, and also Ramiro Hutton, the offending player, and it is a yellow card for the number 11. And Cameron tried to take the free kick before the referee was ready, and fair enough, the referee has called the decision back. And Cameron will take the free kick again. In fact, it's going to be laid off to Rob Prinzel to take it. Everyone except for Morris and Coleman inside United's half, although Decory's inside the centre circle. Prinzel's free kick towards the penalty area. It goes towards the far post of Chris Cox. He couldn't get a contact on the ball at the far post. And it drifts out of play for a goal kick. The score at Sphinx Drive remains Coventry United 0, Walsall Wood 0. Let's get a score update now from Roots Hall. And the score remains Southend United 1, Coventry City 0. And there's been some more points scored in the National League in the Rugby Union as Coventry Rugby Club fall behind at Darlington Moden Park. It's 6-3 to Darlington. The ball in the danger zone now for Coventry United as Hutton tries to get the shot away, and it wasn't a million miles away, you have to say. A decent effort from Ramiro Hutton, curling wide at the far post. Play started quickly again with Thomas Glasgow. Valance tries to find Cameron. Clearance made by Ben Steen. O'Grady. Glasgow looking for an option. Williams in space on the right, but it's played into the centre with O'Grady. Back onto the left with Ben Valance. Valance looking for a pass into the penalty area. It's towards Ben Mackey. Goalkeeper drops it. Foul on Arnold as O'Grady missed an open goal anyway. I'm sure he heard the whistle before he attempted, but he tried to dink it into the net at the crossbar, but it wasn't counted anyway due to the foul by Ben Mackey on goalkeeper Sam Arnold. O'Grady remains United's second top goal scorer in league competition with 5, 2 behind Kyle Williams with 7. Of course, Williams on the bench today. It's not been the most free-flowing of seasons goal-wise for Coventry United. Lowest scorers in the top 10 of the league, as handball is now given against Ben Mackey.
It's not a sport, that. Liam, you've got cheerleaders at half-time.
Libby's just turned up, Liam.
Olympic sport.
Not with the pom-poms.
It's going to be Lewis Harris to take the free kick now inside the centre circle. Hoops it forward towards the left-hand side, looking for Aiton perhaps. Aiton gets his head to it, and it will go out for a throw-in to Walsall. Took a reflection off Pierre Moodham on the way through. The referee requested a new ball, but the ball's not a million miles away from the players, so I think we're waiting for someone to retrieve the ball. In fact, we are. Yeah, one of the fans has gone over to get the loose ball before we can get going again. 7 minutes of normal time in the first half remaining. Could be a little bit of added time. I don't think there's going to be much though. Clearance made in the near post by Rob Prinzel. Cameron controls well. And Moodham finishes the job. Long ball forward to Ben Mackey. Good chest control. Through ball for Josh O'Grady on the right-hand side. He's cut off by the Walsall defender. Lays it off for Courtney Cameron. Vance to the left. He'll strike himself. And that is not the best of efforts by Courtney Cameron. Would have been a better option to lay it off to Ben Vance on the left-hand side. The left back had plenty of space to whip in across. But Cameron going for glory and wasting an opportunity for the red and greens. It remains 0-0 at Sphinx Drive as we tick ever closer towards the break. Arnold clears. Decory intercepts in the centre circle. Forward to Courtney Cameron, striding forward. Ball to the right-hand side, catches out the defender. It's forward to Josh O'Grady. Will he try on himself? He will, you know. Allen just in! It's dipped in! What a goal by Josh O'Grady! It looked as if it was going over the crossbar, but the dip on that, incredible! Josh O'Grady, goal number 6 of the season. For last season's top scorer. Has the old Josh O'Grady returned? Coventry United grabbed the first goal at Sphinx Drive. Incredible strike from Josh O'Grady at the edge of the penalty area. It looked to me as if it was going over the crossbar, but no, it just dipped enough. Just enough. But so finds the goal, and Coventry United have taken the lead. And there's also been a goal for Coventry Sphinx. We'll get into that in a little bit. As United stride forward once again. O'Grady on the right. Glasgow making the run. Good interception there by Deakin. Clearance made. Moodham keeps it alive for Coventry United. And it's gone out for a throw-in. And there has been a goal in the match between AFC Wolfrunians and Coventry Sphinx. And Sphinx lead by 1-0. Callum Woodward with the goal. Coleman clears. Here's Lewis Harris. Punts it forward. Prinzel returns the ball to where it came from. O'Grady to Courtney Cameron. Cameron going all on his own here. And a late challenge there from Craig Deakin. And Cameron seems hurt. And that could well be another yellow card. Cameron didn't look like he was going to be stopped legally. Deakin goes in late, catches the knee, I believe, of Courtney Cameron. He hails Owen, low knee, heads for the floor, and that is going to be a foul and a probable yellow card for the left back. Cameron gets some adulation from the Coventry United supporters. Some of the younger members of the Red and Green Army saying that it should have been a straight red, but a yellow card is the correct decision, and that decision has been made. Yellow card for Craig Deakin. He's got to be careful for the rest of this match. Cameron, O'Grady, back to Cameron, back to O'Grady. Moodham in the area. Moodham will strike! What a save! Tipped away by Sam Arnold. An ambitious over by Pierre Moodham. Swings it towards goal. First time strike and just put out of the air by Arnold. It looked like it was going to hit the crossbar, but that's what we thought about O'Grady's strike earlier in the match. It ended up in the top corner. So 2 or 3 minutes to go until the break. It remains United 1, Walsall 0. There's still time for Walsall to get an equaliser. Wright looks to put in the cross. Can he get past Valance? Wright makes the cross. And what a save! Point blank range by Rich Morris. It's still alive. And it's towards goal. And it's saved again by Rich Morris. Incredible goalkeeping. 2 efforts by Ramiro Hutton. And both times, Walsall were denied by the man they call England's #1, Rich Morris. Christmas shopping in the morning, goalkeeping heroics in the afternoon. Not a bad day for Rich Morris. Strolling down the right-hand side now is Josh Mansell. Mansell still going. And Valence able to nick the ball away. Glasgow, can he make the clearance? He's laid it off to Jean de Corey. Ball still in a dangerous area. He's found Courtney Cameron now. Cameron tries the ball over to Josh O'Grady. And he's called for a free kick. I believe it's going to be a yellow card for handball. Well, O'Grady did put his hands up. It looked to me as if he was just putting his hands on his head in disappointment. I don't think he was trying to catch the ball. But if you put your arms into that sort of area, then you're inviting trouble. And Josh O'Grady is going to be booked here. Yellow card for Josh O'Grady, and the referee saying any more of that, you're going to be off. So I think it's a silly yellow card to concede, but a fair one from the referee. He only had one decision to make there. O'Grady has got it again now after the free kick falls to nothing for Walsall. Mackey. O'Grady receives it again. He puts his head in his hands again, but luckily the ball was nowhere near this time as he lost the ball. Cameron nods it forward to try and bring it back. Clearance should be made by Ling. He does make the clearance. Forward towards Butlin. High boot perhaps, referee says no. And it's going to have play now for a Coventry United throw. And the referee calls time on the first half here at Sphinx Drive. Coventry United lead by 1-0. Decent first half, few opportunities. United with the better of the first half, I would say. But Walsall certainly came alive after the first goal came in. And also, by the way, before we go into half-time, I've got to say there has been a substitution in Coventry City's game. Lee Burge has been taken off injured, and Reece Charles-Cook has replaced him. So not the best of days for Coventry City at the moment, losing 1-0 away at Southend, and their goalkeeper Lee Burge has been injured. But here at Sphinx Drive, so far so good. United looking to end their club record run of 5 matches without a victory. It's looking like United can end that run today, but they've got to stay sound defensively during the second half and try and snatch a second goal to make this lead count. 3 points would do United the world of good as they try and get their promotion push back on track. Can they finish the job? We'll wait and see as we get set for the second half here at Sphinx Drive. We're going to take a short break on Coventry United match day to swap over the laptop battery to ensure we can bring you the second half in all of its beauty. While we're away, go and check out the latest episode of the Sky Blue Diaries, our exclusive web series. And of course, don't forget to like this video, share it with your mates, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll see you in about 10 minutes time for the second half of Coventry United versus Walsall Wood.